fighters, and they have the wind in their favour in the second half. And I get the feeling that Barry Travaskis may have strained a hamstring. And on comes Jeremy Guscott to replace Barry Travaskis. The 19-year-old given his big opportunity. So Bath back to full strength, but with the half-time replacement of Jeremy Guscott on the left wing for Barry Travaskis, who went off with the hamstring injury. Simpson setting it up just outside the Bath 22. Back from Bowring, Douglas probing again, floats it over for Dan Fouy, but a knock-on. And I don't think there's much likelihood of a Bath advantage. Dan Fouy, who's a New Zealander, born in Pahiatu, and will be returning for the summer only to New Zealand from Wellington. In fact, played for New Zealand universities against the British Isles in 1977. And the referee, Roger Quinton, talking to Greg Bess. The man has just come back on after having stitches in his scalp. And the foul play has given London Welsh chance of points. So the penalty stands and London Welsh have their first points. So a rousing start for them. Certainly do encourage them 2 minutes into the second half. The hard-working supporters up the touchline, the ball boys. Be a useful international in a few years' time. Bath up for the two-man again. Redman at the front, Hall at the back, marked by Collins and Lewis. Bowring too. Hill low inside to Sparrow. Pops it up well to Hall on his elbow. And then the drive of Gaiman. This time the Welsh win it. Russell to Douglas. Good work to Ebsworth. Tried to lift it over Palmer, but rebounds off him into touch. Tap down was by Stuart Russell. Possession denied by London Welsh. Going on the wrong side. Back goes Tim Jones. And up again comes John Palmer. So this to restore Bath's lead to a clear 18 points. 7.5 minutes gone. How about that? $13 points for Palmer, 21 for Bath. London Welsh with the solitary penalty. Well, it's a nice day out for St John Ambulance and policemen too, who have no worries at rugby matches of crowd trouble, do they? About 18 metres from Bath's goal line. Little pat ball again, but away by Douglas, but rather loose pass. Ackerman knocks on. But in fact, the referee had seen an earlier infringement. Exactly what, I must confess, I'm not quite sure, but it's advantage to London Welsh, they get the put in.
But I think that Bath must have knocked the ball on in the line out, and so he's let the advantage go and come back for the scrummage.
So a break for London Welsh. Perhaps there'll be one in the threes. Price. Downed late. And Sparrow gives away a penalty in front of the post. So this should be 3 more points and keep London Welsh's hopes alive. No time wasted by Price. His second penalty and 6 points to London Welsh. So that'll give them a little lift. And now they'll need to capitalise on it.
Yes, I think that was the old professional foul by Roger Sparrow there, that he stepped into Colin Price's line there, then turned his back, hoping that the referee would think it was accidental.
Back to Hill, Horton, miss move in the centre, Palmer, there's the gap, took it beautifully round Price, inside Ackerman, but the pass to Martin was behind him. Guscott back with it on his feet. Well, denied in the end by London Welsh, but lovely searing run by John Palmer there, outside the London Welsh fly half and inside Ackerman, but the final pass not of the same calibre. A happy day out and close attention to the action. With about a quarter of an hour remaining and 15 points the margin of Bath's lead. And Bath being sent back packing with an offside decision against them. And will London Welsh go for the 6 points with a converted try effort? Here it goes, and generous applause for that. The charge by Tim Jones, and fouled again as Bath roll over on the wrong side, Richard Lee. And this time the simple 3 points attempted by Colin Price, bidding to make it a hat-trick for himself. 9 points for London Welsh. So the deficit cut to 12 points, and as I said at the very start, and I'm sure Ken Brickell there, the London Welsh trainer, would have vowed never write off London Welsh till the final whistle. 12 points, and Ken Brickell knows the capacity of London Welsh in a tight corner. And president of Bath, Jack Simpkins, well, what, something like 50 years, a loyal member and a happy man today for sure, up there in the president's box. Still on the Bath 22 though, and London Welsh still mounting the pressure. Ackerman inside to Russell. And London Welsh drive on, but still kept out. Solid defence, but a penalty, and London Welsh can go for 3 more points here, as Bath were on the wrong side.
Yes, it was Roger Sparrow, the skipper, who was on the wrong side of that situation. Well, it's a more situation that he was certainly well offside there, and Roger couldn't have spotted that one easily.
So Price to try and make it 12 points. 4 penalties for him, and it's London Welsh chipping away with about 8 minutes plus injury time to go, getting ever closer. Some of the Bath supporters are getting a bit anxious now. This is the London Welsh resilience, a side that are never beaten, and that's what awaits the winner. Bath defending stoutly that John Player Special Cup. But now, look at that scrummage. And here's Price, Dummers to Fooey, looks for the gap himself, chips through for Ebsworth to chase it, rebounds off Martin. Anyone's ball, Rees, just denied in the corner. Well, bear in mind what London Welsh can do in a 7-a-side competition, and that's 7 minutes each way. We've still got something like that to go, 4 minutes plus injury time. Clive Rees, the captain, not far off. Possession again they have. Douglas dummying, trying to get the offside decision, and he's got it. In fact, he's given it for the collapse scrummage. And quite rightly, Clive Rees knows that they've got... And the Assistant Secretary of the Barbarians, Gordon Ferguson, Fergie to everybody, is spellbound by this. 3 minutes to go, and quite frankly, Price has got to get it. Yes, he has. They consulted, did the touch judges. And now, 3 minutes and injury time to go. 21 to 15. Bath sat back a bit too long. They rested a bit on their laurels, but fair play to London Welsh. They've come back with a vengeance. Out of sight at 18-0 and 21-3. Now, a converted try would put them on terms, but of course, as Bill Beaumont said earlier, it's a case of tries being equal, so they've actually still got to score more than the one try. But here's Bowring, and here's Fooey, hounded by Halliday. In dives Spurrell. It really has lifted this to a climax, and now, in turn, for Bath, a chance to ease the dangers and the pressure. 21-15, John Palmer, really for the cup. Well, that looks like game, set, and match. And there's the celebration moment for the whole of the West Country. Bath, the champions, retain the John Player Special Cup. But given a rousing contest by London Welsh, who were down and seemingly out at half-time. And there, the end of his reign of 4 years as captain that have taken him in triumph to 2 titles in consecutive years, Roger Spurrell. And a rousing game, and all credit to London Welsh for making it such a competitive game to the last. And Roger Spurrell poised to receive that splendid trophy once again. And England's best club, at any rate, have deservedly won the John Player Special Cup and joined Coventry, Gloucester, Gosforth and Leicester as a side to win it more than once. Passed from the chairman of Imperial Tobacco, Andrew Reid, via the president of the Rugby Union, Albert Agar, to Roger Spurrell. And those celebration moments, Spurrell, Hall and Palmer. 24 points to 15. And you'll notice up there in the presentation party, Neil McFarlane, president of the Rugby Union, Albert Agar, alongside him, and the chairman of Imperial Tobacco, the sponsors of this competition, Andrew Reid. And there'll be a special cheer for this great servant of rugby football in London Welsh, Clive Rees, delightful character, and, well, he can be proud of the way his side came back and gave such a spirited performance, duly acknowledged here by the enormous crowd. There we are. Roger, anyway, congratulations, 2 in a row, and for you, so a great, well, what a way to bow out as captain. Some of the lads might be relieved.
I think a lot of them will be relieved, yes. It was a super way to finish, you know. We played very well for 25 minutes, and we sat back, and then we came back at the end. Super.
Yes, I mean, John, you mentioned this beat for yourself. The first half, because you had the win, that must have helped you enormously.
Yeah, I think what we haven't been doing recently is playing well when we've got the conditions, and today we put the ball down there, got the points on the board, and then stuck it out to the end.
Right, well, you've got the task of passing that around. David, love the hairstyle. Was it 1 pass, 1 try, was it?
The what?
1 pass, 1 try. Can you hear under there?
Yeah, 100% today.
One too many. One too many.
Richard, for you, of course, the duel with Mark Douglas as well, and I suppose you'd be delighted that you were getting the possession in a way, and the clean possession that Mark was not getting so freely.
That's right, yeah. I mean, always rely on these lads to give you a bit of ball. Yeah. Did it today,
Yeah. What about you then? Jeremy comes on as a late replacement, as well, shall we say, a youngster alongside some of these others around here. What about your thoughts as coming into that scene and the Bath scene in the cup final? It's a great thrill for you.
Yeah, it was a tremendous thrill, but what can I say? The blood done it.
We got to say. We got to say. I think we've got to give some credit to someone behind the scenes who doesn't show himself up in the front very much, but he's hiding again. But
He won't come out.
Jack Rowell and you know, the coaching lads behind the scene?
Especially Jack Rowell, plus Tom Hudson and Dave Robson. But, you know, Jack, we did the right things on the day, and we've done the right things for the big games through the season.
Yeah.
And that only comes from one place, and that's Jack Rowell, really.
Yeah. Anyone else, I'm sure, would like to add a few comments to that and give tribute?
Don't go to Nigel Bear.
Oh, we've got a Viking over here.
I won't say what they are.
Paul, credit to them, and of course, I suppose tribute to London Welsh in the way that they came back and made you, well, rustled you up a bit, didn't they?
Well, they certainly did. I mean, we got our usual few points on the board like we did last year, and then sat back and entertained the crowd for 35 minutes, and then stuck one over in the last minute just to apply the pressure again, and that was it, all over.
I knew they'd get him in the end, but Jack, well, you did it with Gosforth, you've come down south, you've done it with Bath, and apart from credit to you, you must, I'm sure, want to give credit to them, Jack Rowell.
Excuse me. Rugby's about players, and we have the best, both on and off the field. And I thought an outstanding game today, and London Welsh came back at us very well. It was, at the end, as exciting as last year. And a credit to everybody.
It's Roger Spurrell again. And before you go, a word about Roger, his last day as captain.
Well, I think you saw today.
Apart from that,
I think you saw Roger today. He's the man who's made Bath tick. He's rucking and tackling on the field today, the best I've seen.
thank you, lads.